welcome back to the Storylines with me, Christina Dirdjohadi, and today we have Mr. Alexander Grenz, our President
CIO, CEO, Chief
President
Entertainment Officer.
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you give our listeners a bit of your background?
To introduce myself?
Yeah, to introduce yourself.
Okay. So my background, I'm Alexander Grenz. I came here to Indonesia about 2 years ago now, and have been working with Allianz for 20 plus years already, and
wow.
In many different functions, countries, roles, and enjoyed it very much, and very happy to be here in Indonesia, and looking after Allianz entities in Indonesia. We have three. We have the life insurance, we have a dedicated insurance company for Sharia, and we have our non-life insurance, Allianz Utama.
The general insurance, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so how did your journey with Allianz first begin? Like,
Well,
that 20 plus years ago? That's my
20
age.
plus, yeah. So different, yeah.
Yeah, different, yeah.
Well, fun fact might be that I actually never planned or actually applied with Allianz.
Oh, yeah?
So, as most of the students who are into economics, investments, finance, they were looking to work for a bank. And so I actually applied for an internship for a bank, one of the largest German banks. And it happened to be that I got a letter from the bank saying, "Oh, we're sorry, we can't entertain your internship anymore, because actually we just got bought by Allianz."
Oh, yeah.
And
Okay.
as such, this unit will not further necessarily exist, and we are very sorry for that, and we cannot. So I was very upset and said, like, how dare they? It was just 2 weeks before the start of the internship, and I just finished all my exams, so I had nothing else to do than internship and writing my thesis. So I was like, okay, so what to do now? So I was thinking about going abroad or whatever, and then suddenly I got a call from a company, which name I didn't even know, and said,
You
like,
didn't know?
yeah, you applied with us, and would you be still keen on an internship? And I was like, yes, I actually need an internship, but who are you? And then they
I
said
thought it's a big company back then.
no, it was a
Germany.
subsidiary of the bank, and it was actually asset management. And it has a German name, Deutsche Investment Trust, and they said, like, they need an intern. They have a huge project for occupational pension. And I asked my professor, he said, like, that's the topic of the future, you should definitely consider. So I went for the interview, and then I found out basically that's Allianz behind. And later on, the investment company which I did my internship for is today's Allianz Global Investors, which is our active asset manager of Allianz Group, beside PIMCO, which is the fixed income manager of Allianz globally. So that was my entry to Allianz, but still in asset management, not in insurance.
Yeah.
And then 4 years later, it happened to be that I ended up on the holding company in a strategic project where I got exposed to insurance as well.
I see. So you started from the asset management as an intern?
Yeah, wrote my thesis for them. Yeah. And then
I'll do
apparently
that
I
now.
did not do too badly, so they offered me to regularize me, and I started as an analyst with the company.
Okay. So you never changed company, only with Allianz since the beginning?
Yeah, blue and blue throughout.
All the blue. Yeah. For 20 plus years. Okay. So what's inspired you to personally pursue a career in insurance? Like, was there a turning point where you saw its deeper purpose? Like,
Yeah.
at the beginning was asset management, right? And then
Well, at the beginning, as I said, I didn't plan for it, but then I was there and I appreciated the company. I learned a lot about Allianz as a global company, the opportunities you have, and at that time I was still very young. So I was very much enjoying the fact that basically the doors are open to anything, and it's on you how to explore that and make it happen. So I tried to work hard, and eventually I got the opportunity to join on the strategic project in the holding company, which was basically to bring asset management and insurance together as a unique proposition in Europe. And I always wanted to work abroad. So eventually that gave me the first chance to work abroad because it was Europe-based. So Western Europe, but also Eastern Europe. And I worked on this project for a couple of months. I learned it the hard way. Immediately I was exposed to interesting conversations with actuaries who I did not understand at the beginning, and had to learn my way through insurance, how that mathematically works. Fortunately, I was not too bad in mathematics before, so I could get a gist of it. And I found a very appealing proposition, and I always thought these two units, they have so much to offer to a customer. So why are they offering separate solutions? Why can we not offer one solution together? And this was the core concept of the project. And then after 6 months, I happened to be proposed to join the emerging market side on the insurance side, particularly in life and health insurance. So I joined a regional office.
Where?
And based out of Munich, but it was focused on Eastern Europe, Middle East and Africa. And joined there as the head of life and health, and that was my entry to real insurance-only business. And from there, I went through various paths and careers in countries and functions, and eventually stepped over to Asia, and then have been working in Asia in insurance for the last 14 years, almost 13 years now. Yeah.
So started in Munich first, then...
Yeah, always stepped more Eastern.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what's the first countries in Asia?
In Asia, the first step was in a regional role in Hong Kong and then Singapore, looking after partnership business, and that includes banks and brokers and affinity business.
And then you moved to Philippines.
Philippines thereafter.
And Indonesia next.
After Philippines, Indonesia.
Okay. Don't know where to next after this.
I don't know. So far, I'm good. I hope I can say.
Oh yeah, you like Indonesia that much?
I like Indonesia a lot.
Oh yeah, and, what's your favorite?
I wish I would have more time to travel in Indonesia.
You do, right?
You guys keep me very busy.
No, you do travel. I think you went to Kalimantan. I haven't been there. I haven't been to Kalimantan.
Yes, true. My colleagues say I'm more adventurous than them.
Right.
I've been to places that I have not even thought about.
Yeah. Have you been to Raja Ampat also?
Not yet, but it's high on the bucket list. I would love to go diving there. But I went to Labuan Bajo, and just this weekend I was in Kalimantan.
Which city, Kalimantan?
I went on a klotok to see the orang-utans.
Really?
Where I got the same reactions of my colleagues. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
But it was very good, and I can highly recommend. It was fantastic
You want to
experience.
go back there again? No, right?
Yes. It's a great experience, and it's very beautiful and very scenic. The best thing is you hardly have any network. And you enjoy to see orang-utans in wildlife.
Why you didn't
very
go online
unique.
that much.
Yes, exactly.
Because
no
of
responses.
Yeah.
For 3 days.
3 days only. Okay. Do you have any personal story where working in the insurance industry has impacted you, or your closest one, maybe positively?
I mean, for me, it's a bit different. I come from Europe, and in Europe, it's kind of default that you are insured against everything. So the acceptance and the awareness of the need for insurance is very high, and the penetration in the markets are very high. And then even more working for an insurance company, you can imagine that I'm definitely more than overinsured. But in fact, I mean, there are many small events where, of course, there's high appreciation of insurance. Let it be a simple car accident where I even had a heavy car accident once with passengers inside.
You?
So,
here?
Back in Germany after skiing. So I went on the highway, and then basically a car crashed into my door. So, but you find appreciation that everything is taken care of, and you have a lot of worries, or somebody could be injured, so not only the costs related, but making sure that people get well treated in the hospital, looked after. And then other things like simple liability insurance. I once capsized a small boat in the Philippines, unfortunately, and 2 phones, 2 sunglasses, and I don't know what's sank down to the bottom of the sea. So, and the people were very upset, and I was like, "Don't worry, I'm insured. I caused the problem, so I will at least ask my insurance."
To pay for that.
whether they could cover. And fun fact, they covered that. Of
Oh, yeah?
course, if you caused the issue, you are insured. And I never claimed in 30 years, so for once I claimed something, and they were happily supporting me and made sure I can give my colleagues back the
So that's
equivalent phone and sunglasses.
one positive thing that you can that you get from insurance, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, there's always. I think it's a pleasant experience.
And
You never think about that you need it, but once you need it, you're very happy you have it, right?
And you have that
So,
peace of mind, of
yes,
course, for having
exactly.
that, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. And okay, let's talk about your leadership style. Who has influenced your leadership style, and in what way and how?
I should say my mom, but
Yeah,
maybe
really?
it's not.
Your mom is like used to be
I'm
CEO?
sure she did in some way. I'm sure my parents influenced my leadership style to a certain extent. But I think mostly, I mean, you evolve over time. So in various roles I had in various places I lived, and I had to adapt to different cultures, first of all. And of course, you learn a lot by, in the first place, failing. I mean, you try a lot, and unfortunately, I'm blessed. I went to many trainings and got very strongly supported by Allianz in my career path. So I appreciate that I went through all types of leadership trainings. And at the end of the day, it comes down to your values, your integrity, and I think that defines your leadership style at the end. But you have to find it for yourself, and I think my advice would have always been stay authentic as much as you can, but still, make sure you look around after the people. So if you are a leader, I would think the most important is always that you want your team to succeed, and ideally you want the team to become better than yourself, and then probably you have mission accomplished.
Okay,
when
so
they become.
Okay, so now you're the CEO of Allianz Indonesia, and there are thousands of agents right now. How do you personally stay connected to what's happening on the ground with the team, with the leaders, with the agents?
Well, that's a good example here.
Okay, so you do podcasts with them, yeah?
I do a lot of podcasts.
You do a lot of podcasts.
It's my first podcast, to be honest.
Really?
So, yeah, can't believe. First time.
Audio and video, this is the first time?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And even video with surprise. I didn't expect that
Exclusive,
in a podcast.
After this, you get a lot of invitation, I think, to do podcasts.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm looking
from
forward to that.
agents. Oh, yeah? Okay.
So, well, I mean, first of all, we have plenty of events where we have the opportunity, and I do believe that I'm quite open to our agency and mingle and seek for feedback, engage. For me, the most important is, I mean, if I want to understand how things work, and if I want to get an understanding of what we can do in terms of growing the business, I need to understand, first of all, what is in the mind of our customers and what is in the mind of our, I would say, intermediaries, because we have many different type of distribution channels, but even more agencies because they have a very close relationship with customers. So we run a lot of events. We also look into kind of structured collaboration where we have a particular engagement on a frequent basis, where we see collaboration as well. Of course, I use the opportunity to see the country by doing branch visits, and because I also would like to understand not only how the business works in Jakarta, I would like to understand also elsewhere. We do roadshows at the beginning of the year for the kickoff. We also do something called Final Lap, where we go around the branches for the last quarter, and these are great opportunities where we always engage and have lunches or dinners together with larger groups, with leaders. And usually I try to have open sessions and Q&A, and just see what happens, and then sometimes reflect back on podcasts. That's the new thing.
That's the new thing. Okay, so from your observations, what do you think should be prioritized when it comes to agency force development?
For us specifically, I think there are many things to focus on. In general, looking at agency business in Indonesia, I would say I see still a very strong part-time approach to agency. So I think what we need to focus on is really professional agents who not only make a living, but really make it a profession as such. Full-time is something which needs to be developed further. Only then we will get further reach in terms of customers. We will actually grow the penetration in the country for insurance, because otherwise we still focus more on our closer circles, and it becomes more a part-time business opportunity than it is really a full-time passion of individuals. So if you ask me, I would focus very much on making sure we recruit good prospects, agents who have the willingness to make this a profession for themselves, really customer-oriented, and with the right passion, strive for success and building a long-term business, not just a short-term.
Yeah, totally agree. We have a tagline for that. Berani resign, pindah alive. Oh, I'm right.
That was a very good lead.
I was like waiting to say it.
Very good.
Nice line. Okay. So, what do you think will make a great agency leaders in your eyes, beyond just numbers and sales?
Well, same as every other leader. I think a great agency leader, for example, would really recruit people and nurture people, and not just recruit, and then see what happens. You see that very often, and then it becomes like a returning effort. You recruit, but then because you don't nurture the people and you don't help them to succeed, you obviously will lose people either to competition, or you lose their interest, and eventually you redo the same effort. So at the end, you do one step forward, one step back, and you keep on doing this year on year, and that's not really sustainable, not very promising. Whereas when you really focus on building and nurturing it, you will build blocks, and every year you will grow and see steady growth for yourself and really build a strong business. On the other hand, I think it's very important leaders are not complaining all the time, but looking for the opportunity, right? So what I value at leaders is when they see a challenge, they see the challenge, but they also look for where's the opportunity and focus on the positive side and the opportunities, rather than focusing on the things which they don't like or which is not in their favor. That's, I think, also what distinguishes very strong and successful leaders from regular leaders, or those who still have to learn and evolve.
Yeah, sounds like me. No.
The first one.
Yeah,
100%.
Okay. Do you have any vision for Allianz Indonesia for the next 5 years? Like, what's your vision?
For the next 5 years, we have something which is called Pinnacle in Asia. It's our ambition. So we always do plans on a 3-year basis, and then Pinnacle is meant to be the vision for 2030, where do we want to be in each country in Asia. And of course, Indonesia, we also have our own ambition. And we fortunately became already number one in agency in the first quarter, so the first ambition would be to maintain that. But I think for me, it's more the fact that you really become undisputable number one in agency means that you succeeded, what I said earlier. You really build a professional agency which continuously builds on its past every year. So we still see sometimes stagnation in the market. We see volatility in the market. And instead of a market where we are in, we should see a continuous growth story, because we do the right things and develop. So that would be my hope, to see a lot more professional agents in the future with a lot of passion, young generation particularly, who eventually goes beyond the affluent segment and also really goes in looking for those who need the most insurance. And that's for me the upcoming middle class, young generations who are funding families, who are getting into their first jobs, have a lot of debt, for example, to build a house like this, and maybe not like this, but a smaller house. and eventually they need to be protected, because they worked so hard to get to this level it would be a pity if all this
Yeah.
collapses and they have to rebuild over
Yeah.
and over again.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So next question.
Yep.
Allianz is a global powerhouse with over a century of legacy. In what ways does Allianz Global strength support innovation and transformation in the Indonesian market?
Yeah, so good question, and to be precise, we just celebrated 135 years, and very proud organization, and yes,
And
I
you
think
spent 20 plus years there out of 145.
small fraction of it, but the last 20 few years I'm part of the journey, so very proud. But what I really like is the beauty of being a global powerhouse, as you say, is that you have so many resources you can tap into, and you have a lot of competence, you have a lot of different type of maturity of markets where you can learn from. You have a lot of inspiration from colleagues across the globe, what they are doing, and eventually you will always recognize that many of them have similar problems, but all of them have kind of different solutions to the problem, and eventually I think what we are trying to do is getting this knowledge more across and utilized by many, and foster stronger the collaboration, not only in country but beyond countries. Like we in the region have a lot of engagements across the CEOs, across different functions where we have workshops and try to find easy solutions which are applicable for multiple markets. Then of course we built a lot of assets globally which are utilized, and that's great. Because we don't have to reinvent the wheel all the time. We don't have to build our own technology. We can leverage technology which is existing already. And of course, even more important, what we leverage is the brand. Our brand globally is
Number one.
Number one.
Yeah, of course.
Number one insurance brand in the world. Let's highlight that again.
Again.
And rub it in. But I think it's a true asset, and a country by itself would never be able to invest so much into the global brand as we do. So we are partner of the Olympic Games, for example. We are sponsoring Formula E. We have partnerships with St. Andrews, and with MoMA we had in the past Formula One. We have so many opportunities where we collect basically and invest globally, but then the benefit is clearly also locally. And as we can see, I'm very pleased coming to Indonesia that Allianz is such a strong brand here locally. And wherever I go, and then people ask me who I am or what I am and what I do for a living, and when I say Allianz, everybody is like, wow. And in the past, I struggled sometimes when people said like, oh, Allianz, what is Allianz? It's like, no, it's called Allianz first of all, but it's very good to see that here in Indonesia, I mean, we are a very strong brand, and we are a very large company, and obviously we have done very well in the past to the public as well.
Do people in Kalimantan know Allianz already?
Yes, they knew.
Really?
Yes.
Kalimantan?
They knew Allianz, and they were very pleased with Allianz. I had 2 people I met who were actually Allianz insured. You won't
Really?
believe, yeah.
Oh, okay.
For example, my tour guide was Allianz insured because his company has a group insurance with us.
Oh,
So his health insurance was with Allianz.
Wow, great. I just knew that.
See? Yeah. But that's,
Even more local than me.
That's what you see, how far the reach goes, right? So, and it happened also in other places where I went. Of course, I mean, Bali is not really a small place, but even in Lombok, people would know Allianz and would be insured by Allianz, or in Sumatra when I went there as well. So
Sumatra
it is widely spread, and I think that shows you that somehow we are doing a good job, and that's the beauty of having an agency force which can reach basically all corners of Indonesia, which other partnerships could not necessarily do.
Yeah, but you reach more corner in Indonesia than
I
me.
wish.
Than me.
Then you maybe. I hope eventually I reach all corners.
Kalimantan, wow, okay.
It's a beautiful country. You should try.
Yeah, it is. Later. Okay, so what makes Allianz Indonesia unique within the global Allianz group, and how do we localize innovation while staying aligned with the international standards?
So first of all, our strategy is usually aligned. We have a global strategy, and you would hear things like we have a smart growth ambition, we focus on productivity, we focus on resilience. So these are the 3 cornerstones we would have. And for growth, obviously, Asia, and in particular Indonesia, with a huge population, low penetration still in insurance, is a massive opportunity for Allianz for the future to really show growth to their shareholders as well. Productivity is something, for example, we need to work on. I think there is a lot of potential, not only within the company, of course, using and leveraging more modern technology, but also within our distribution channels where we would see higher productivity and making a real living from being an intermediary for insurance and having frequent activities. So that will make a big difference. And resilience obviously is important. We need to focus on how to manage our capital so that we can always be there for our customer when they need us. And of course we are regulated and everything is fine, but of course we would try not only to achieve a very high solvency always and manage capital very effectively and efficiently for our shareholders, but also for our customers. And eventually we also have to pay dividends to our investors. So that's also something we have to be mindful of.
Yeah.
So resilience equally important.
And what about Allianz Sharia? I mean, like, is it only in Indonesia or like we
Well, it's in fact unique. And if I'm not mistaken, I think by now we are the only real standalone Sharia business. We used to have a Sharia type of business which is called Takaful in Saudi Arabia, in a partnership with a local bank there. We used to have longer time ago in other countries as well, but most of them we have either handed over to the partners or one or two very small scale. We couldn't really succeed to scale up and had to discontinue. But Indonesia has the biggest population. And of course, here's a huge opportunity for Sharia. And fortunately, the regulator is also stimulating it with regulation to build an ecosystem for Sharia.
Yeah. So, next one.
Next one.
What would it take for Indonesian agency leaders to be recognized and play a role in international global Allianz stage?
There are multiple opportunities. So, first of all, I mean, we are fostering this very much on a regional basis. So we have regional programs, particularly for agency. So we have one which is a partnership with INSEAD, which is also named after Pinnacle, our ambition. Yeah. So we invest into primarily education, of course, and helping leaders to evolve. And that is dedicated to certain leaders who qualify for that. Then the second one is we have classically our MDRT race. So a race to MDRT, we call it. So MDRT is a classification which is independent of us. So it's an industry standard by an independent company, $1 million round table. And that assesses not only, let's say, the growth and the premium, but also things like persistency, the quality of business, etc. So here we also try to support and obviously give the platform for MDRTs to join in this race and then eventually be recognized on a regional stage, which we just had recently in Vietnam. And beyond that, of course, we are looking at larger kind of organizations like Asia Insurance Review or other platforms who recognize agents. And for example, we had several times Rookie of the Year, Rookie Leader of the Year, Rookie Agent of the Year, and celebrated them then together in Singapore, where they typically host these type of events and award the respective leader or agent for what they have performed in the previous year. Yeah. Lots of opportunities.
So, insurance is still a male-dominated industry in many ways. What challenges have you witnessed when it comes to women stepping into leadership roles in this industry?
Well, I'm not sure whether this is accurate because I do see a lot of, especially in distribution agency, I see a strong participation of women. I mean, not particular in our agency, but if you look globally across, especially in growth markets, Asia or before I was working in Eastern Europe, you would see a strong leadership of women in this profession, not only in the insurance industry, but also particularly in agency. because very often in cultures like these, women are still the decision maker when it comes to money. So hence, yeah, it's true. I mean, funnily, different cultures, right? So it is known that women are usually taking the role of budgeting in the household as well.
Yeah, that's true.
And deciding at the end of the day. So typically, it's easier talking from woman to woman. In Allianz overall, I would say we have put a lot of effort in the past to make sure that we have very equal opportunities. So like many other companies, we indeed on a global scale had lack of female leaders, simply for the fact that the opportunities might have been there, but there were certain limitations in terms of managing this with your personal life. As for example, in Europe, you would not have help at home. So you need to, when you have kids, you need to manage, right? So Allianz has, for example, invested into Kitas, which is like Kita is a place where you bring your pre-kindergarten aged kids, and you can bring them there, and they will looked after, and it's like a nursery for kids, and then you can do your job, and then you can pick them up afterwards. So you have seen a lot of initiatives around that. Then, of course, there are development programs specifically for women to make sure that we have more female leaders also striving for leadership roles. And by now, Allianz is in fact one of the leading companies who has the highest ratio of female board members in our board in Germany or in European companies. In Indonesia, we see a percentage above 40% of female leaders. Also in our agency business, we see more and more. And your agency is a very particular example to be a real female powerhouse, as you would say it. And we want to strive as much as we can to provide equity and equal opportunities for everyone in this profession.
Yeah. Okay, so from your point of view, what sets Alive Leaders as one of the women-dominated agencies apart from others in the industry? Like, we have 95% of our agents are female.
Last event I visited, I
It's fun, right?
I saw 2 men and I was the third. So, but I mean, I must say I do appreciate that, because it is the thing today is you need to distinguish yourself. If you go with the masses, then you will compete with the masses, and you need to define your own market. And I think what A-Life did is defining their own market, how to recruit, how to empower women in their job. And the most important, I think, as far as I can judge from outside, is having fun while doing your job, right?
No, I saw
so, and I think it's the most important thing. You need to enjoy what you do, and if you find a way to create an environment that women can thrive in and enjoy and make a living, make a business, and develop themselves, then that's a great opportunity, and will justify that you probably are a very good leader and very much appreciated by your team, because that's what's differentiating you from other leaders probably.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And you know Alef so well, yeah? We spent a lot of time together, I think. No?
Well, I played paddle with you, so that was also
better. That was my first time.
Yeah?
Yeah, first time playing paddle in Italy. So cool, right? Okay, so any hope or wish for Alive to be in future years? Number one.
Number one agency. I mean, number one agency is, I think the most important is that it's a business, right? So I would wish for you and all your leaders and agents basically that they thrive in your ecosystem of A-Life, and that you are growing and growing and doubling every year. And
10,000 MDITs.
Perfect. MDRTs would be even better.
No, MDIT.
Both is good. But I think the most I can wish for is that you're very successful, and that your team is 100% empowered and sees the opportunity, and and we'll succeed in it and
Protect more people.
get the reward. And hopefully we are protecting more lives, and they will take care of more Indonesians to secure their future.
Okay. So now the next generation, the Gen Z, is like evolving, and how is Allianz preparing to meet the needs of Gen Z agents and maybe like younger policyholders, younger clients, customers?
Very important, because Gen Z is definitely a large proportion, almost 30% of the population already, and is still growing, and the next generation after even more. So we will have to cater for that. I'm very pleased that we today see already a very strong contribution from actually Gen Z agents. So we have put a lot of effort already since a few years back to really focus on attracting young leaders and bringing them into the profession. Now, the beauty in this country is that you have a lot of graduates in the country who are seeking for opportunities. So therefore, we are trying to do partnerships with universities. We are doing particular opportunities, seminars to attract young leaders and bring them into the business, who then obviously naturally also speak to other young leaders again. So I think that's the best way we can do it. We have started a long time ago to be very strongly focused on digital. In the past, we have done a lot of things in parallel to be, let's say, fast and have many different access points. Now, after a certain time where we have basically built everything, now the question is how can we consolidate it? And definitely the young generation is looking for at-demand services and not at us scheduling times with them whenever we prefer. So we need to really get into this more stronger digital play, and that is for me the future.
But Allianz has been doing that like a lot, right, in the digital
but I think we did a lot in many directions, and we are exploring with AI, and I think AI can help a lot. Let it be in training, education, let it be in the sales process itself, explaining products, making life for intermediaries and customers much easier. You don't need to necessarily speak always to a human. And actually, you have a better outcome sometimes when you speak to a machine, because the facts are 100% accurate, versus a human can potentially do human mistakes, which is human at the end of the day. And then there can be certain concerns coming.
Okay, great. So how can agency leaders adapt their training and culture for the next generation? And what kind of agents and leaders that can thrive in the future?
Well, similar, right? So I think it's mostly about we're looking for young professionals, smart young people who are having ambitions. So I'm not saying you have to have a university degree, but certainly higher education would always help, because financial services are by nature complex, insurance especially. We are a lot working with investment products, so where you need to have quite some comprehensive knowledge, and we need to make sure that everybody is capable and very well trained to explain their customers their needs, and then also explain the respective solution to the customer in a proper way, and be there for the customer whenever there are any concerns throughout the lifetime of the policy. And so we continue to probably do opportunity kind of seminars, showcase Allianz as a good partner and as a good employer to drive that in the younger generations as well.
Yeah, and thanks to the branding, and Allianz #1 brand in the world, right? Should be easy.
Hopefully that helps.
Didn't
help with me, but I figured out it's actually a great brand.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're done with the serious questions, and let's just move to the random one.
Oh wow, random.
Random questions. Okay, do you have any leadership lessons that you learned the hard way but now you're grateful of?
Many.
Oh yeah?
many. But to bring it to probably a common denominator is simply you just need to fail to learn. So that's, I think, the most important as a leader. You need to start being comfortable to fail and not hide behind it. And then you need to embrace it, because then you will grow and you will learn something out of the situation and hopefully not do twice the same mistake. And with that, you evolve as a leader usually. So that will be my take.
The
painful at the beginning, but after a while, you embrace the positive side of it and don't look anymore at the negative side.
Okay, and don't be afraid to fail, yeah? Okay, so what's one thing most people don't know about you, but should?
That's a tough one. But, well, maybe they know, but they don't know in that detail. So I'm very stereotyped Taurus. For those who are familiar with that, Taurus have certain specific criteria which makes them, and so we are very patient people.
Patient?
And we are very loyal. Yeah, you don't believe I'm patient?
Loyal? Okay.
We are loyal, have high integrity, but...
I can see that. 20 plus years with Allianz. Very loyal.
But then once you... let's say, lose the trust,
get betrayed.
Then they get cut off very harshly. So people sometimes they should know that you should not max it out, right? So the reaction after long term of patience can be quite harsh.
Okay, so don't break the trust, yeah. Scary. Emang that's Taurian? Really?
Sorry?
Is
Taurian.
that the character of a...
There are other characteristics, but this is one which is quite, I think, particular about Taurus, that they have no issue to cut people off, and they're basically not existing anymore.
Really?
But it's hard to get there. It's very. I mean, in my case, not many people in my life have managed to get there.
Oh yeah.
This is very difficult. So I'm very patient.
Moved to another company, maybe.
Well, that could easily
that could, yeah. Okay. They can go there.
Not sure whether I can
They can
forgive
go
that.
there. Okay, that's good. All right.
Loyalty, integrity is a high value for me.
Okay, so. All right. Okay, so if you could instantly master any skill in the world, what would it be? What would you choose?
Yeah, there are just two things I completely suck in. That one is singing and one is dancing. So
I think that
singing,
the MDRT race, and it was like
singing is probably something which I admire people.
That one skill that you want to master? To be
I
able
think
to
so,
sing?
because I'm really bad and I don't have a good voice or anything, so I'm always jealous about people who have a great voice and great singers. Especially, I mean, here in this country, you give people a microphone, they always sing well.
Okay.
Don't ever try in Germany. It's going to be ruining the show.
We should do that in our next event.
Yeah, don't give me the mic. So.
I will
But
definitely train you.
If I would be able to have a wish, I think it would be nice to master that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to do a training for that one?
No.
Practice makes perfect, you know.
I would
Practice
consider.
makes perfect. Okay. So if you could switch roles with an agency leader, with me, say, for 1 week, what would you do first to alive?
Well, first thing is I probably would gather all the people in one place and, first of all, try to find something what we all want to have as a common objective. So find one common denominator where we can all agree on this is what we aspire and that's our purpose we are here for. And once we are there, then maybe next will be really to listen to individuals. So to understand, okay, if we agree this is our North Star, our objective, so how can we actually get there? And then most importantly, how can I help individuals to actually pursue their personal aspiration in this context, right? So that will be probably
I think it will
first
take
week
you a month.
But not sure whether I can manage in 1 week, but I'm hopeful when you bring all together that
yeah. All right.
that would work.
Okay, last one for the day. What's your favorite guilty pleasure on a stressful day?
guilty pleasure on stressful day. So, yeah, I there are many, but I think ice cream is something. Sometimes
Really?
I realize myself.
I thought you avoid sweets.
I avoid sweets and I don't want to eat sweets, but then seems emotional eater and it's a stressful day. Then sometimes
So
I
ice
feel
cream is
like
your guilty pleasure.
guilty pleasure.
Ice cream.
Could be vanilla ice cream, very boring but very effective.
All right, I think that will be all for today. Thank you so much for the exclusive session for your first podcast ever.
Very
with me.
welcome, and I very much
Really
enjoyed it.
appreciate it. And I think that's all. Thank you for today.
very
Thank you
much.
for the listener.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.